Lily stood in the shower, the hot water cascading over her skin, soothing her tense muscles and momentarily quieting the chaotic thoughts in her mind. The rhythmic sound of water enveloped her, creating a cocoon of warmth. She took a deep breath, letting the steam swirl around her. "Max, don't touch that," she yelled through the closed bathroom door, half polishing her free-floating worries. She had learned over the years that coaxing her mind into focusing on simple tasks sometimes helped her manage the overwhelming weight of everything else. Just outside the bathroom, Max, her exuberant golden retriever, barked excitedly. She imagined him pacing back and forth, his tail wagging with enthusiasm. "Please don't chew the couch." This was familiar territory. The same conversations played out like a well-rehearsed script. Just last week, he had turned her favorite pillow into confetti. And today, with her grasp of priorities in disarray, she feared the living room was next. She rinsed off the soap, forcing herself to breathe in the relaxing scent of lavender that lingered in the air. Moments like this were rare, and she found comfort in the minuscule sanctuary of solitude that the shower had become, even if brief. Suddenly, the thud of something heavy falling over made her heart race. "Max!" she shouted again, more urgently this time. "What now?" The thumping sound was followed by a distinct crash. She felt a jolt for her furniture and a tug at her gut. Wrapping a towel around herself, she stepped out of the shower, dripping water onto the floor as she moved to the door. "Please just let it not be the coffee table," she muttered under her breath. She quickly dried her feet, thrusting open the door and stepping into the chaos of the living room. The sight that greeted her was nothing short of alarming. Max, with his shiny golden coat and bright eyes, sat proudly amidst a war zone of toppled cushions and scattered papers. In a sight most alarming, the coffee table lay askew, with Lily's carefully arranged books cascading on the floor. "Oh no. What did you do?" she gasped, moving cautiously into the room. Max, ever the loyal companion, looked up at her with an expression that seemed to say, "Look what I did!" His tail wagged furiously, the happy panting any standard dog would boast. "Max, these were—" She paused, shaking her head in disbelief. "What am I going to do with you?" Just then, Liam, her partner of several years, walked in from the kitchen. He raised an eyebrow at the mess, his expression shifting swiftly from incredulous to amused. "Looks like Max has made a new friend with your stack of papers," he chuckled. Lily crossed her arms, both annoyed and slightly amused. "More like he's wreaked havoc. He was supposed to be my loyal sidekick while I showered." "Looks more like a mischievous gremlin to me," Liam replied, smiling as he knelt to scoop up the scattered papers. "You really think he cares that much about your shower? He was probably plotting his escape from boredom." "Boredom? Have you met him? He's always on the move. I swear he could chase his tail for hours if I let him." She sighed, finally allowing a small smile to break through the frustration. "Maybe he just thinks you need more excitement in your life," Liam said, standing up and straightening the coffee table with a flourish. "The day-to-day grind can get pretty dull." "What would you know about it?" Lily shot back playfully, tossing her wet hair over her shoulder. "You have that exciting corporate job while I'm stuck at home." "I'm sure my job isn't as exciting as it sounds," he countered, the light teasing in his gaze deepening. "But I would take a paper war over boardroom battles any day." With that, they exchanged amused looks, their laughter cutting through the remnants of tension that had lingered in the air. Max, sensing the lightening mood, chimed in with a playful bark, darting back and forth between them, almost as if urging them to join him in fun. "All right, doggo, you've won this round," Lily finally conceded, scratching behind Max's ears. "But you should have known I would find a way to rebel." Her voice softened as she looked at Liam. "Maybe we could use some excitement ourselves." "What do you mean?" Liam asked, curiosity sparkling in his eyes. "Let's take Max out! Let him run a bit before we settle into more chores," she suggested, brightening a little at the thought of escaping the confines of their domestic routine. "You think so?" Liam's brow furrowed in consideration. "The last time we tried taking him to the park, he nearly dragged us both into the lake." "Well, maybe we can keep him on a leash this time," she said, giving him a meaningful look. "It could be fun, some proper exercise for everyone, Plus, the sunflower field is blooming. It'll probably make for a perfect evening escape. Hesitated for a moment, glancing back at the mess they needed to tidy up. But we haven't. Come on, she coaxed, her enthusiasm infectious. Let's just grab the essentials, leashes and water, and we'll be back before sunset. Turning to Max, she added, What do you think? You up for a little adventure? Max looked as if he understood every word, bounding over and sitting expectantly by the door, tail wagging eagerly. Liam chuckled, glancing down at their dog's excitement. All right, you win. Let's go make some memories before the sun vanishes. They prepped for their spontaneous adventure. Lily felt a flicker of lightness in her chest. The house could wait. For now, it was time to embrace the joy of living. And as they stepped outside, leaving behind the mess, the lingering weight of unsaid words and emotions felt less pressing. The warm glow of the sun cast gentle rays down the street, and Max bounded ahead, his spirit equally unchained. Let's race. Liam suddenly shouted, jogging after Max. Oh no, don't tire him out already, Lily laughed, joining in on the unexpected sprint. In that carefree moment, she realized something significant. Sometimes, the smallest adventures could awaken a sense of closeness they had almost forgotten existed, one that she longed to nurture. With the wind in her hair, laughing alongside her loyal dog and partner, she felt something shift warmly within her. Maybe this simple act could lead to more than just a day out. It could breathe life into what had felt stagnant for too long. With Max gleefully tugging them both forward, the laughter spilled forth like a fresh spring bloom, and for the first time in ages, happiness wrapped around her heart in an undeniable embrace. Chapter 2. The Weight of Words. The following week unfurled with a touch of freshness, as if the air had been rinsed clean with the joy of their spontaneous outing. Each morning, as sunlight streamed through the windows, Lily felt a gentle nudge of motivation to engage more with the world outside her usual routine. Let's take Max to the park again today, she suggested over breakfast one quiet Saturday. The aroma of coffee wafted through the kitchen, dense and comforting, mingling with the sound of eggs sizzling in the pan. Liam raised his brow, glancing up from the newspaper spread before him. Really? You think he'll be less of a tornado this time? He chuckled, folding the paper and setting it aside, his eyes sparkling with playful mischief. Maybe this time we'll keep him on a tighter leash, Lily shot back, leaning against the counter with a smirk. Besides, he's been cooped. Up more than usual. I think a little freedom's good for him. And for us, too. I suppose that's fair, he conceded, the hint of a smile tugging at the corners of his mouth. I'll admit I might enjoy the chance to escape the confines of this place again. Great. I'll pack some snacks and maybe we can bring along that frisbee, she replied, her excitement bubbling up like the coffee she poured into her mug. Only if you promise not to make Max chase it until he collapses, Liam retorted, standing up. I'd rather not carry a panting dog back home. Deal. Lily laughed, the words spilling out like sunshine. Together they prepared for their outing, an underlying current of excitement igniting a spark that hadn't flickered for months. The atmosphere felt lighter, and for the first time in ages, she sensed a difference in the way they moved around each other, less like two strangers navigating the same space, and more like a team ready for adventure. As they harnessed Max and stepped outside, Lily couldn't help but feel a soft thrill in her chest. The warmth from the sun wrapped around them like a welcome hug. Ready to go, buddy, she called, crouching to ruffle Max's fur before leading him toward the parking lot. Let's see how much energy you have, Liam chimed in, laughing, as he watched Max bounce in anticipation, almost tugging Lily forward. When they arrived at the park, the sight of greenery stretched before them was breathtaking. Children played laughter-thick games in the distance, while other dogs romped freely under the watchful eyes of their owners. Okay, let's find a spot for our picnic, Lily suggested, scanning for a shady patch of grass beneath a sprawling oak tree. As they settled on the blanket, spreading sandwiches and a small thermos of iced tea, Max assumed his position, watching intently, as if the treats would magically create themselves. Here you go, old friend. Liam laughed, tossing a ball for Max, who immediately dashed after it with unparalleled enthusiasm. Man, he's quick today, Lily chuckled, taking a sip of tea. You'd think he'd been caffeinated. Look at him go. They spent the afternoon basking in the warmth of the sun, indulging in light-hearted banter and stolen glances, reconnecting in a way that felt both familiar and new. I've been meaning to ask, Liam started, leaning closer, his tone shifting from playful to contemplative. How do you really feel about everything? The house, our routines? You know, I've been feeling a bit off lately, too. The sudden turn in the conversation made Lily's heart race. She had sensed the unspoken distance between them returning, cloaked in those familiar silences. The worry flickered in her chest, but there was a growing courage in her voice. I've felt it too, Liam. It's like we've been slipping away from each other, lost somewhere in our routines and obligations. He met her gaze, concern etched across his features. I suppose we've been so caught up in life that we forgot to actually live it. Sometimes it feels like we're just existing. Exactly. I miss spontaneity. I miss our connection, she confessed, inching closer, the blanket crackling softly beneath her. We need to prioritize us, who we are, not just who we are together as a couple. Liam nodded slowly, absorbing her words. I think I've been so focused on work that I've ignored everything else. I'm here physically, but sometimes I feel like I'm a million miles away. I completely get that, she replied earnestly. But we need to communicate to check in instead of allowing the silence to grow. I don't want to lose what we have. Right. Let's figure out how to reconnect, he agreed, sincere emotion brightening his eyes. Maybe we can schedule date nights again or something. Something spontaneous. I need it, Lily insisted. I miss that thrill we used to have. Spontaneous, huh? Liam mused. Well, how about every Saturday? We dedicate the day to each other. No. Work, no distractions. I love that idea, she exclaimed. Let's commit to planning something fun and unexpected. Let's break the monotony. Max returned from his frolic, plopping down beside them, tongue hanging out in pure doggy bliss. He seems to agree, Liam laughed, rubbing Max's back. Absolutely. Besides, I'm sure he'd enjoy going on adventures with us. Lily's laughter was genuine as she served Max a well-deserved treat from their picnic spread. As the afternoon sun dipped low, they reveled in a buoyant bubble of lightheartedness, the tension and unanswered questions hovering away for now. Moments passed pleasantly, wrapped in newfound resolve and plans brimming with excitement. Want to play a round of frisbee? Liam proposed, his eyes lighting up. Only if you promise not to tire him out this time, Lily bantered, already reaching. To grab the frisbee. Deal, Liam replied, standing up and tossing the frisbee soaring high across the green grass. Max took off like a bolt of lightning, chasing the flying disc with unwavering zeal. Go, Max, go, Lily cheered, the little joys filling her with warmth as they took turns throwing the frisbee for Max. Lily and Liam shared laughter, a sprinkle of competitiveness, and playful banter that echoed through the park. Even amidst the dog's frenzy, they exchanged glances filled with understanding, a reminder of who they were before life's distractions crept in. After what felt like a whirlwind of energy, they finally collapsed on the blanket, breathless, and flushed. Okay, maybe he did win this round, Lily laughed, watching Max collapse beside them, panting happily. I'd say he's the real MVP, Liam agreed, leaning back, his arms behind his head, a satisfied smile stretching across his face. And we did pretty well too, she added, meeting his gaze. Yes, we did. Let's keep this going, Liam replied, a newfound determination in his eyes. With lingering rays of sunlight washing over them, Lily felt a warmth swell in her heart. She knew the road ahead wouldn't be without its bumps, but this moment felt significant. It anchored her belief that conversations and connections could flourish again, crafted with care and intention. Let's talk more about our weekends on the way home, she suggested. Right. We can map out our plan, he promised. Max, now, resembling a flopped-out furry pillow, seemed content to be part of it all, a listener to the unfolding plans between his two favorite humans. As they shared ideas amidst the fading sunset, Lily felt a glimmer of anticipation, excited for the newfound energy that shimmered ahead, eager to continue their journey into clarity together. Chapter 3. Through the lens of a dog, the mornings. After their park outing felt different, lighter, infused with a revitalized energy that pulled Lily out of the fog of daily routines. Each Saturday, they took Max for longer adventures, their conversations deepening and laughter spilling freely like sunlight through the trees. One morning, Lily woke early with a bubbling sense of excitement. She felt an unusual urge to do something spontaneous. After a quick shower, she walked into the kitchen to find Liam sipping his coffee, still in his pajamas, a sight that made her smile. "Good morning, sleepyhead," she called out, pouring herself a cup of coffee. Liam looked up with a groggy grin. "What's got you so chirpy this morning?" "I've got an idea." She leaned against the kitchen counter, unable to contain her enthusiasm. "Let's take Max to the beach today." "Wait, the beach?" He raised an eyebrow, clearly intrigued. "Isn't that a bit far for a day trip?" "Not if we get moving," Lily countered, already picturing the waves crashing and Max running freely in the sand. "We can pack a picnic and make a day of it. It'll be fun." Liam took a sip of his coffee, considering. "Okay, I'm in. But are you sure about Max? He might end up buried in the sand." "Exactly. Just imagine it. Come on, I'll pack snacks and drinks. You can drive." Max, who had been lying comfortably in the sunbeam filtering through the kitchen window, perked up at the mention of beach. He licked his lips excitedly and paced back and forth, sensing the thrill of the upcoming adventure. All right, Liam relented, standing and stretching. "Beach it is, but let's make sure to bring towels and sunscreen. Can't have you getting burned." "Deal." Lily laughed, tossing him a quick wink as she rushed to gather supplies. They spent the next half hour packing a cooler with sandwiches, fruit, and refreshments, along with Max's beloved treats. As they loaded the car, excitement radiated from Lily, transforming the mundane into a treasure hunt of possibility. Once they hit the road, the open space of the highway sparked something fresh within her. "Can you feel it?" she asked, her heart racing. "This is going to be incredible." "Yeah, I can feel it," Liam replied, his eyes on the road but his smile evident. "Just drive carefully. No need to speed. This is a day of relaxation, not a race." "Oh, come on," she teased, playfully bumping his shoulder. "Live a little. We have a little bit more than an hour before we get there," Liam chuckled, shaking his head in mock disbelief. "Seems like someone has had more coffee than they should this morning." After a short while, the scenery shifted, transitioning from urban landscapes to quickly evolving coastal views. The salty breeze wafted through the windows, and Max, his ears fluttering in the wind, excitedly stuck his head out, barking joyously. "Look at him! He's tasting freedom!" Lily exclaimed, growing more animated. "I can't believe we're actually doing this." Liam glanced at her and smiled, a genuine warmth tinged with relief. "You know, I forgot how nice it can be to just drive and enjoy a moment." "Exactly. We need more of this," Lily replied, glancing at him with sparkling eyes. "Tell me about the best beach day you ever had." He furrowed his brow, deep in thought. I think it might have been over in Santa Monica. My friends and I went for a weekend, played beach volleyball, and hit up all the taco stands. Shry laughed, picturing it. "You're way more adventurous than I thought, Liam." "It was a phase," he admitted, smiling sheepishly. "I'm not really that spontaneous anymore, though." "Today could change that," she replied, feeling a rush of excitement as the beach came into view, a shimmer of blue, stretching far as the eye could see. When they finally parked and stepped out, the sound of waves crashing set a lively backdrop. Lily and Max rushed toward the shoreline, exhilaration lifting them off the ground. "Come on, buddy!" Lily called out, her laughter mingling with the wind. "Let's go explore!" Max dashed ahead, chasing after the waves as they receded, and crashed onto the beach with a gentle roar. Liam joined in, feigning his mock chase until he caught up to them both. "Max, wait for us!" he called, chuckling at their dog's sheer enthusiasm. As they settled onto the warm sand, Lily opened the cooler, setting out their lunch while Max sniffed around, trying to catch any wandering morsels. "Okay, what's first?" she asked, looking eagerly at Liam. Frisbee or a walk along the water? Why not both? Liam replied, leaning back on his elbows and taking a deep breath, the salty air filling his lungs. Let's toss the frisbee a bit, then. Stroll down the beach. Who knows what we might find? Perfect, Lily exclaimed, pulling out the frisbee and standing up to hurl it toward Max. Go, get it! With a bound, Max shot off like a bullet, leaping through the air, and they both erupted in laughter, feeling weightless in the joy of shared experiences. I don't think I've ever seen him this happy, Liam marveled, watching their dog run in circles. He's loving it, Lily replied, her smile genuine. This is what I've been missing. Spontaneity, laughter, us. Liam nodded, watching Max tirelessly chase after the frisbee. You know, I've missed this side of us. The carefree moments. Me too, she remarked, feeling a rush of connection as they exchanged glances. It's what brings out the best in us. We need to nurture that. They resumed tossing the frisbee back and forth, Max retrieving it enthusiastically each time, the gaps between their conversations gradually filling with comfortable companionship. After a while, they plopped down on the sand, taking a break. Max collapsed beside them, panting happily, blissfully unaware of the bonds they were mending. Let's walk, Lily suggested, glancing at the expansive shoreline. I want to collect shells. All right, lead the way, Liam replied with a grin, grateful for the easygoing vibe. As they wandered along the water's edge, the sun dipped lower into the sky, casting a golden hue on everything it touched. The beauty around them mirrored the warmth growing within, a connection sealed in simplicity. Look at this one, Lily exclaimed, picking up a beautifully patterned shell. Isn't it gorgeous? Very nice, Liam agreed, leaning closer to examine it. You always had an eye for this sort of thing. You should take a closer look. You might find something cool, she encouraged. I just remember spending hours collecting shells at the beach with my grandparents. That sounds nice, Liam replied thoughtfully. You were close with them? Yes, very much so. My grandmother loved the beach just as much as I do, she said, a hint of nostalgia lacing her voice. She'd always tell me to find the shells that spoke to me, that held stories. Do you think I would find shells that spoke to me? He teased, arching a playful eyebrow. Only if you listen closely, she bantered back, joy rippling between them as the joy of the moment unfolded. As they continued walking, their casual conversation morphed into deeper topics. Not just shells, but memories, hopes for the future, and dreams that had been brushed aside over time. You've got to share more about your adventures, Lily urged, nudging him playfully. I want to know the real Liam, the one that hasn't been buried under a heap of work and obligations. He chuckled, pausing momentarily. All right, but only if you promise to share some embarrassing stories of your own. Lily laughed, a delightful sound mixing with the gentle lapping of waves. Fair enough, I'll go first, she said dramatically. When I was 10, I tried to build a sand castle and ended up sitting in it, thinking it was a throne. An ambitious throne, he grinned, clearly entertained. What can I say? I was a queen in my own kingdom. Their laughter rang out, weaving itself into the fabric of the beach, reminding them that joy often bloomed in playful candor. Your turn now, she urged, eyes glimmering. Okay, he said, thinking back to a time he hadn't shared much about. Once, during a camping trip with my friends, I tripped on a log and face-planted into the mud. It felt like a comedy scene from a movie. Please tell me there's a photo, Lily inquired, eyes gleaming with curiosity. Of course. And I almost threw it out, but my friend insisted that I keep it as a souvenir. Cracks of laughter poured from both of them, and just like that, they became two friends, kindling a vibrant bond that had begun to awaken again amid waves and warmth. They wandered along the beach hand in hand, collecting shells and stories as the sun began its descent. Max, happily trailing behind, occasionally bounded ahead to greet fellow beachgoers, embodying a spirit of pure joy. As the evening, light crawled across the sky, casting shadows that danced with the waves, Lily felt the richness of the day unfolding. The shared laughter, the gentle nudges, and the honest conversations, each one whispered a promise of rediscovered intimacy. With the waves crashing softly in the background, she resolved to keep this energy alive, to let the playful moments shape their path forward together, easier and more vibrant than before. Chapter 4. A Glimmer of Truth. The next weekend arrived, bringing with it a familiar cadence that felt somehow richer after their beach adventure. Lily woke early, sunlight pouring through the windows, and a hint of anticipation filled the air. Today was the day they had promised each other, time set aside to reconnect and break from routine. As she padded into the kitchen, the enticing aroma of coffee pulled her in. Liam was already brewing a fresh batch, a line of soft humor etched across his features as he handed her a steaming cup. "Good morning, sunshine. Ready for our next adventure?" he asked, leaning against the counter with a grin. Lily took a sip, savoring the warmth before glancing up at him. "Absolutely. Do you think Max is ready?" "He's been bouncing off the walls since I opened the door," Liam replied, chuckling. "I think anything that involves being outside brings him pure joy." "Right. So what's on the agenda?" she asked, moving to the pantry and rummaging through supplies. "Hiking? Exploring a new place?" Liam leaned forward, propping his elbows on the counter. "What about a picnic in the park again? Just the three of us?" "Seems simple enough. But we should do something special," she suggested, an idea blooming in her mind. "Let's make it themed. I can whip up some finger foods. What do you think?" "Theme it? I like that," he replied, his eyes lighting up. "How about a Mediterranean picnic? Hummus, pita, olives. I'll bring the drinks." "Yes, I love it," she exclaimed, enthusiasm bubbling over as she prepped to gather ingredients. "This is going to be amazing." With the kitchen turning into a small culinary haven, laughter and chatter filled the air as they worked side by side, divvying up tasks and sharing stories, their camaraderie growing. "I haven't seen you this excited in a while," Liam mused, chopping veggies with surprising skill. "Cooking together like this is nice." "It really is," she agreed, glancing at him over her shoulder. "I forgot how much fun it can be to create something together. I missed this, us being us." Liam paused for a moment, his knife stilling against the cutting board. "Me too," he admitted, looking down. "I kind of lost myself in work and forgot to make time for, well, everything important." Lily moved alongside him, her heart fluttering at his honesty. "We can change that, you know? It doesn't have to be this way all the time. We just need to remember how to be playful, how to try new things." "Like a Mediterranean picnic," he joked, grinning as he held up a piece of cucumber. "Exactly. And more," she replied, lightly nudging him as she continued preparing their feast. "After this, we should go explore that new hiking trail I found. I heard there are great views." "Sounds like a plan." His eyes sparkled with excitement, and as they continued with their preparations, the atmosphere was punctuated by laughter and shared glances that spoke volumes. Once everything was ready, they packed up the meal and set off with Max, who was practically vibrating with enthusiasm as they made their way to the park. When they arrived, pastel flowers bloomed brightly against the green, and the trees swayed gently in the breeze, filling the space with a sense of calm. "Look at this spot," Lily exclaimed, pointing to a shaded area beneath a sprawling oak. "This is perfect." They spread out the blanket, setting the food down, and Max immediately flopped on the grass, panting happily. "I think he approves," Liam laughed, opening the cooler and taking out the prepared goodies. "Let's dig in." As they enjoyed their Mediterranean feast, the flavors brought them closer, each bite imbued with the returned joy of spending time together. "Wow, you really outdid yourself," Liam said after taking a bite of the hummus. "This is delicious." "I have to admit, you might be the best sous chef ever," she teased, nudging his knee with hers. "Maybe you should take lead in the kitchen more often." "Only if you promise not to critique my chopping skills," he retorted playfully. "Fair enough," Lily responded, a warm laugh escaping her lips. "But only if you promise not to burn anything next time." After they finished eating, they leaned back against the grass, content and basking in the sunlight. "You know, I've really enjoyed planning these activities, Liam said, looking over at her. It feels good to set aside time just for us. I agree. I think we're finally finding that balance we've been searching for, Lily replied, feeling a sense of connection deepen further. Let's keep going, he continued. Next week, how about some kayaking? Definitely, she exclaimed, her eagerness palpable. Or maybe we could try rock climbing. I've always wanted to do that. Rock climbing? He repeated, a hint of challenge in his tone. You sure you're ready for that adventure? Absolutely, Lily grinned, envisioning the experience. How about we find a class together? All right, you've convinced me, but if I get stuck on the wall, you're on your own to pull me down, he joked. Deal. You have to promise to wear a helmet, though. Wouldn't want you bumping your head. Oh, come on, it's not like I'm that clumsy, he replied, jokingly defensive. You tripped over your own feet last weekend. She laughed, and they both shared a genuine moment, reminding them that this connection made them feel more alive. Max had been sniffing around, his tail wagging, and returned to nuzzle against Lily, seeking attention. Hey there, buddy. Ready for a walk? She said, scratching behind his ears. Let's take a stroll, Liam suggested, standing up and grabbing Max's leash. As they ambled forward, the path wound between vibrant flower beds, and the air was filled with the sound of chatter and laughter. Max, are you having the time of your life? Lily asked, watching their dog eagerly sniff every corner of the park. Of course he is. He's in dog paradise, Liam said with a grin. This is his equivalent of a 5-star restaurant. As they walked together, Lily felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. The time spent together, from the cooking in the kitchen to the laughter shared on the blanket, had brought them closer than she had expected. Thank you for making this effort. It means a lot more than you know, she said softly. Thank you for reigniting the spark, he replied, glancing sideways, vulnerability evident in his expression. I've been feeling a bit disconnected for a while, but this feels new. With that simple exchange, they heard Max bark excitedly, tilting their focus back to their furry companion. Ready for a run? Liam asked, and Max bounded off ahead, tail wagging like a flag of pure happiness. As they watched their dog take off down the path, Lily smiled, her heart swelling with warmth. You know, I think we're headed in the right direction, Liam responded with a knowing nod, and they set off after Max, the air around them lighter than ever. The joyful laughter mingled with the sounds of nature, creating a beautiful harmony that enveloped them, and in this simple yet profound moment, they both felt something shift between them, an unspoken promise to keep exploring the vast expanse of their life together. Chapter 5. Unfurled Hope. The sunlight filtered lazily through the curtains as another Saturday dawned bright and inviting. Lily awoke to the cheerful sound of Max's panting nearby, his tail thumping against the end of the bed as if he was a drum announcing the new day. Rolling over, she caught a glimpse of Liam still peacefully asleep, a soft smile playing on his lips. Hey, sleepyhead, she said softly, her voice a gentle nudge in his dreams. Liam stirred, cracking one eye open. What time is it? He mumbled, pushing away the hair that had fallen over his forehead. Early enough for some adventure? She grinned, stretching her arms above her head. I thought we could head out and do some more exploring today. Maybe check out that trail we talked about? Really? You're still up for that? He replied, enthusiasm slowly creeping into his voice. He sat up, rubbing the sleep from his eyes. Absolutely. You've promised me a day of adventure, haven't you? She teased. And Max here is itching to sniff every inch of the path. All right. It's decided then, Liam replied, swinging his legs over the side of the bed. Let's get moving. I'll make coffee while you pack some snacks. Deal, she exclaimed, hopping out of bed and darting to the kitchen. As they moved about, the small space, the harmony of their actions created a beautiful rhythm. Lily laid out granola bars, water bottles, and some trail mix on the countertop, while Liam focused on brewing coffee strong enough to jumpstart them into action. Do you think you'll survive without a fancy breakfast? Liam teased as he poured the steaming liquid into 2 mugs. I think I'll manage, she laughed, the warmth of excitement coursing through her veins. Besides, granola bars are almost gourmet when you're out in nature. Right, nature's kitchen, he countered, a playful glint in his eyes. Let's hope the trail food doesn't spoil my gourmet reputation. She rolled her eyes, grinning as she filled a small bag with the snacks. I'll be sure to give a 5-star review on the granola. With everything packed and Max eagerly whining for attention, they set off on their mini adventure to the hiking trail, the scent of fresh coffee wafting through the air as they drove. As they emerged from the car, a gust of wind greeted them, full of new scents and sounds of nature. Birds chirped overhead, and the faint rustle of leaves whispered encouragement as they began their hike. Okay, which way? Liam asked, glancing at the map on his phone as Max sniffed curiously at a nearby tree. Let's head toward the scenic overlook, she suggested, scanning the foliage before them. I've heard it's breathtaking. Lead the way then. They walked side by side, the path winding along the edge of the forest. As they ascended, the sound of their footsteps mingled with Max's eager barks and sniffs. Max, are you leading or just exploring? Lily asked, glancing down at their furry companion. He's probably testing the local cuisine, Liam joked, watching Max's antics with a smile. You know, tasting every plant for quality control. Max glanced back at them, almost as if he understood, darting ahead again with newfound energy. I still can't believe how much he enjoys this, Lily remarked. It's as if he knows we need this. Liam nodded, shifting his backpack slightly as they climbed. He has a good sense of when we need a break from reality. As they reached the first overlook point, they paused to take in the stunning view that swept over the valley. The expanse of trees felt like a living canvas, the greens dotted with pops of color from wildflowers. Wow, Lily breathed, a smile spreading across her face. This is incredible. It really is, Liam agreed, leaning against a nearby rock. No filters needed. Together, they stood in comfortable silence, absorbing the beauty surrounding them. The sun kissed their skin, and for a moment, everything felt just right. What do you think of a photo? Lily suggested suddenly, her excitement bubbling up again. Let's capture this moment. Good idea. Here, hold Max, Liam said, gently handing her the leash. Smile, buddy, she instructed, kneeling down next to their dog with a grin. Look at the camera. Liam snapped a few quick pictures, capturing not just the scenery but the essence of them all. All right, my turn. Lily took the camera, and with a little coaxing, Liam managed to get Max to pose. The three of them together, genuine smiles, a snapshot of their perfect day. Once they finished taking pictures, the conversation drifted. Have you thought about where we're headed next week? Lily asked, her heart light. Maybe that climbing. Gym? We can start there and see how it goes, he suggested, his enthusiasm contagious. Climbing? Yes, I've been looking forward to it, she exclaimed. I might be scared at first, but I'll push through. It'll feel good to challenge ourselves. Liam raised an eyebrow. You do realize I might be the one who's terrified, right? Then we'll be scared together, she laughed, nudging him playfully. As they descended the trail, Max darted, ahead, invigorated by the day's delights. Tensions from the past weeks drifted away like leaves in the breeze. This was more than just a day out. It was a shift toward a fuller version of themselves, a promise to each other to keep exploring the thrill of living. Once they reached a clearing, they found a sun-drenched patch of grass to sit in and rest. Liam took off his backpack, rummaging for water bottles. Hey, do you ever miss the old days? You know, when everything felt different? Lily asked, her voice quieter now, as if she was dipping into a more profound thought. Sometimes, Liam admitted, leaning back and taking a sip of water. But then again, I think we owe it to ourselves to create new memories, like today. True, but I want to cultivate the old joy too. There were moments that taught us about appreciation, she continued, gazing thoughtfully into the distance. What do you mean? Liam prompted, intrigued. Just that there's a certain magic to spontaneity. It reminds me of the adventures we used to have when we first started dating. We were always discovering something new about each other, right? You're right. Everything felt fresh back then, he agreed, reflecting on the earlier days. But we can have that feeling again. It just takes intention. Exactly, she smiled brightly. I want us to experience that kind of excitement moving forward. I think we'll get there, Liam assured her, gesturing toward Max, who was sniffing around in the grass. After all, if Max can find joy in everything, we can too. Their laughter echoed in the clearing, creating an invisible thread that bound them closer. Life was still unfolding, with new experiences waiting to be unearthed together. Eventually, they packed up and decided to walk further down the trail, where they could explore more of the landscape. As they strolled hand in hand, conversations came and went, exploring memories and future dreams, widening their horizons. "I'm glad we're doing this," Lily said softly. "This feels like us again." "Yeah," Liam agreed, squeezing her hand. "Let's keep making an effort to be this version of us." "Absolutely," she replied, warmth radiating through her. "We'll keep pushing each other, and I'll try to remember that we're in this together." Max suddenly burst from a nearby bush, muddy and triumphant, and the pair laughed, momentarily forgetting their deep conversation as they watched his antics. "All right, Max, you little warrior, let's get you cleaned up when we get home," Lily called out, pointing as their dog charged ahead once more. "I just don't want to hear about a repeat performance of the last mess," Liam laughed, shaking his head. As they continued down the path, Lily felt that everything was aligning, in a way that felt promising. Together, they would nurture the bond that had grown so easily once before, allowing a new chapter of laughter, adventure, and connection to bloom. And with the sun setting behind them, spilling colors across the horizon, they stepped forward, into the twilight, future possibilities unfurling like a new leaf on a spring day.